Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this video we are looking at the Marvel Legends movie Black Widow. This is technically the Black Widow from the Captain America the Winter Soldier movie, but it would easily suffice as an Avengers one. And so we have two different heads to have the two different looks, one with the shorter, curlier hair and one with the longer, straight hair. They are actually different face sculpts. They're very, very similar, unless it's just a mold difference, but they are slightly different. But still, they both look very good. I think they look quite a lot like Scarlett Johansson, so I'm pretty happy with that. And the paint's good, the flesh tones are good, and the hair sculpting and paint work on the hair is good. So really pretty happy with that. She has alternate hands. Why did I do that? I don't know. Let's put this one on, I guess. We'll talk about articulation in a minute in terms of the hair. She has alternate hands. She has gun hands for either side, and then open hands for like close quarter combat for either side, so that's nice. No joints in the hands. That's a little disappointing. There's no hinge or pivot anywhere in either of the sets of hands. And then that's it for accessories other than the bath piece, but we'll talk about that in its own review. So it's disappointing that she has trigger finger hands, gun hands. No, cat, get out of here. Get out of here. And then the only guns she has are these really horribly sculpted, tiny, unrealistic ones that are glued to her legs that don't come out. First of all, they're just stupidly small and flat, and there's no shape to the holster or anything. Completely unrealistic. Here are the Nick Fury ones. Now, I know she used, at least in Avengers, some mini Glocks. At least I'm pretty sure that's what she used. So it would be basically a slightly smaller version of this in terms of toy guns. And this is not even close to a realistic. I know it doesn't look as bad in the camera, but it's just, these things are not realistic at all. It's just dumb that they're glued in, and then they have these things, which I understand they're supposed to be the straps that go to the belt so that it allows for articulation, but that should have been a larger piece that pegged into the belt and swiveled and then just flexed. But this is just bad. It looks bad. It doesn't work. The guns are stupid. I hate that. Other than that, though, the figure's actually really nice, and I do like it. So just use some Nick Fury pistols, and you're good to go, other than that being ugly. Okay, let's talk more specifically about the figure itself. She's about 6 inches tall, maybe a little bit too tall for being in perfect scale, but definitely close enough. The head with the short hair has pretty good range of motion, not too much of a problem. The hair's relatively soft, so it can flex around the collar. No problem at all. She can look down a little bit, up a little bit. It's pretty good. And then the paintwork on the chest isn't exactly the same as the face, but it's definitely close enough. This head is a little bit more limited in the articulation department, but the hair is soft enough to where you can flex it and get it to go. So it's not horrible. It's not great, but with long hair, what are you going to do? I do kind of wish it was symmetrical instead of being kind of windswept this way. But it's definitely not bad, and I do like it. The details on the body of the figure are great. There's a few different shades of gray, some silver, some red, some black. Paintwork's really good. Could use a few more buckles here and there, but we do have the zipper and quite a few buckles, and then lots of small detail pieces. And there's texturing throughout lots of the figure, so that's very nice. Lots of detail work in the sculpting. Really, really impressed with the quality of work in this figure. It's a very nice figure overall. Articulation-wise, other than the head, the shoulders are on ball hinges without a bicep swivel, and they are kind of carved out to be able to go down like that. But then these ugly holster gun things get in the way, so it's kind of irritating. But it's definitely still nice to have that, the ability to put the arms straight down. We have the the elbow hinge there with the bicep swivel built in, just like the Shield Agent. So it's not ideal, it's not as good as a bicep swivel, but it will get the job done, so that's okay. And then the hands swivel since they peg in, but there is no hinge, so that's disappointing. The wrist thingies are sculpted on. That's not a separate piece this time, so that's kind of cool. She has a diaphragm joint, which doesn't have the greatest range of motion. It's really quite limited front to back, side to side just a little bit, and then it does have the swivel, but that doesn't look so great. But it is there, and it's relatively well hidden by the boobages, so it's okay. It's not bad. She is kind of thin in the waist, and I know she's supposed to not be huge, obviously, but gets really skinny and kind of flat. It's a little odd looking, but once you get her posed, it's not so bad. And I think mostly it's odd just because of the hip joints. But like I said, once you get it posed, it's not too big of a deal. So in terms of the hips, they go forward 90 degrees just like you would want. They don't go backward at all, and they only go sideways about 45 degrees, which is a little disappointing because she's supposed to be pretty flexible, and you can't do it. Even if you bring the hip up and then try to bring it out and rotate it, it's just not going to happen. The way it's sculpted, it's not going to get the leg out to the side the way you want it to, so that's a little disappointing. We do have a thigh swivel, which is hidden very nicely. Of course, there is the dark gray and light gray that's going to be broken up, but it is hidden very well by the suit, I think. Even though there's not a seam there, it doesn't stand out as being an ugly joint, so I'm okay with that. Double jointed knees, good range of motion there. Ankle pivot, which is pretty good. You can get the foot down like that or all the way forward. The problem with this though is that the ankle rocker peg is almost completely vertical, so the ankle rocker is pretty useless. If you try to turn it at all, it puts the foot in a completely unnatural angle and pretty much a useless angle. So you're not going to really get much use out of the ankle rocker at all. So that's pretty disappointing, but it's not a huge deal, and I think it's something we can easily live with. So I do 100% recommend this figure. Despite the few flaws it has, it's still definitely a figure worth picking up. Where's the other gun? Give her some Nick Fury pistols, which you should have probably a bunch of by now if you've been buying Legends for a while. Give her those pistols and put her in a nice pose and be happy with the figure, because it is worth buying for sure. So there you go, guys. There's the Scarlett Johansson movie Black Widow figure. I do recommend it. Go pick it up if you can. It's starting to become a little bit easier to find, so good luck with that. Ooh, also forgot to mention it has the SHIELD logo on either side, and they did a good job with it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.